Oh. Okay, these kids don't fuck around.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they're getting in over their heads. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we are back with another episode of Xam'd Lost Memories. Once again, thank you to Yuki Alley for sponsoring these. I have to preface ahead of time that we did not expect to record today, so we kind of rushed our way into this. Lessons doesn't have any notes, because again, we didn't expect to record. My notes are kind of a mashup because I rushed to try and get them all onto the notepad before it was time for us to record. So I'm coming with notes, but they're a mess. I also come with a board though, so let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. Now normally we would have a board change log, but as per the rushed status of trying to get into having this done, I did not keep a board change log. So this is sort of just the first makings of the board. Which is also to say, we don't know we don't know everyone's names yet. Mm-hmm. I've got like some job titles for some people, which is also kind of a guess. That's why one of them says terrorist ? They did some terrorist-like behavior. I don't know, they could be freedom fighter for all I know.
Ryuichi looks much older than he's supposed to be in the story, I suppose.
Who'd you say?
Ryuichi.
Yeah.
Ryuichi. I don't know.
No, I think you said it right the first time. It was a comment that I didn't write down in my notes, but I specifically thought while I was typing up his name is they don't say they don't say his name the way I would pronounce it. Because I would say Furuichi, but that's not what they say in the show. Or I should say, that's not what they say in the English version when I was taking my notes.
Oh.
Well, like in G-Quux, where Xavier is Xave. So it's like, Also, no, I just think he's an archetype.
Archetype?
Yeah. There is an archetype of the tall, nebbish friend in shows like these.
I know, but it's not that he's tall and, nerdy, is that he looks much
nebbish.
older.
I didn't say nerdy.
Nebbish. Looks much older.
Like your, who's the guy who's supposed to be also maybe the chosen one in Harry Potter?
Neville?
Yeah, Neville Longbottom. How Neville Longbottom looks at the end. Way older than everybody else, even though he is actually the same age. I mean, I understand what you're saying. In the first time through reaction that we recorded, I thought he was the karate teacher, not another student. Yeah. But in this show, it very much feels like people that are older look older. Like, you're not going to confuse Akiyuki's dad for one of the people of his own age, or the mother for that matter. Nobody who's an adult could possibly be confused for someone that's a teenager. And I think that applies to Furuichi, or however you say his name.
Furuichi. Or they might just swallow the I there. Go Furuichi.
I'm sure we'll hear it again.
Those are my takes on the board, since we don't know much about anybody here. We got a glimpse of them, but that was it. We spent probably just as much time wanting through the politics, well, touching on what seems to be the politics of this world and who's doing what to whom, but that's about it.
I guess. All right. Notes then. Okay, so we scoop out a yellow testicle into a condom and give it to someone to swallow. Then it later explodes, and its pieces embed themselves into people, giving them the ability to transform into monsters. If I'm getting that right. I guess the element of the condom is like the smuggler's trick, so that the person that swallowed it didn't get the power. but unsure how the explosion knocked it out of them without straight up killing them.
It may well be that they are specially trained not to be blown up by this stuff. Maybe, I don't know.
I guess in hindsight, now that I'm thinking about it, because I wrote that note first before, like in the first minute of the episode, there's a possibility, I guess, the explosion, the concussive force of the explosion just, you know, and they threw it up onto people. Because they're leaning into the thing is that they're leaning into the side of the bus. Sorry, my hand's below camera. They're leaning into the side of the bus, and there's like the ooze in front of them. But it also seems like they're holding their gut, and ooze is coming out of that too. So I can't tell if it blew their stomach out, in which case that's a pretty gnarly wound. Why aren't you dead? Or, you know, and vomited too, and they're just like, oh, my stomach hurts.
Also, it doesn't seem to have seen them turn back. It needed that condom thing to protect them from getting infected in the first place, right?
Well, it didn't like pop the condom. You see it fly into the air and then hovers in the air for a second and then explodes.
Well, even then, if it does that, why they presumably are the closest person to whatever is happening didn't turn back and seek them to get
infected. It didn't seek anybody. It's a scatter shot. It hits like 4 people.
Yeah, it should have hit them too if they're in their blast radius.
Maybe they were protected by the ruins of the bus. It's not a natural explosion. I mean, it literally floats into the air, hovers, and then explodes. That's like, what else does that in the real world? A helium balloon?
Bouncing Betty?
No, Bouncing Betty doesn't hover.
Oh, well, hovers.
Bouncing Betty, yeah, no, like it stayed in the air for like 10 seconds and then exploded. Right, Bouncing Betty just boop, and then explodes in its like up bounce. Not really even a bounce, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They mention Egypt, so clearly this is Earth. At the same time, the Udai Sea isn't a real place, as far as I can tell.
Probably an alternate Earth of some sort, right?
Or that's the element of the missing memories.
Well, technology really seems to be all over the place. So very steampunky, diesel punk with radar. So somewhere between the 1930s and the 1950s, but we don't have jet engines yet. So maybe 1940s.
Except that they do in the show.
Did they have jet engines?
Nakayami. Sorry, I couldn't remember her name. Her little jet bike thing. I mean, I assume we're going to see that as soon as we start the episode today, because it seemed like we ended. Well, we didn't end on her. We ended on the bombing or the purge, depending on what you want to call it.
No, actually, it was about to bomb. There were these things that
were before they go to the bombing thing, we see her and the cruise ship flying in, and then she's like, "I want to go down." And it's like, "You bitch, you attention whore!" And that's when the bombing thing comes, and it's the end of the episode. The opening transcription woman says, and future notice that's the captain of the ship, that they will show them things their blue eyes have never seen. It must be implying the old woman giving the testicles, as she is the one with blue eyes, and the other albino kids all have purple eyes. At the same time, during the transcription, we see Nakayami with blue eyes doing something with the seeds that I don't understand or didn't understand. She drops them into a liquid where they get wrapped in a band that exposes their insides. At the same time that the speaker is talking about the light of Sirius, which would be the Nile star, signifying the Nile's annual flood and the start of the agricultural season. So, you know, her talking about that, also having mentioned Egypt, and her doing seed-related shit would be agricultural in nature, possibly, if you really want to tie it all together. Sorry, and then I wrote ... tying in the seed element, so... Sorry, I was explaining it off the cuff, and then past me. 30 minutes ago, me had already done that. At the same time, the woman reading it is reading it from some book that we don't know the significance of. Note from later in the episode, Haru also has blue eyes. Haru also seems to have been struck by the thing.
Yeah.
So, I should also mention that Akiyuki, who seems to be like the main character, at least from the opening sequence, does not have blue eyes.
Maybe he was not supposed to get whatever it was in there, but he got it anyway. You know, which is...
I think it reads as prophecy, so I don't think it matters who he is.
Yeah. Well, it matters if it... Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. Okay, I did not understand. It reads as prophecy. So it doesn't
talking to
matter
your
who
point.
he is?
Yeah, I'm talking to your point. You're like, it doesn't, maybe he wasn't supposed to get it. I'm saying it reads as prophecy. So say if it's Haru that's supposed to get it, then it doesn't matter who he is. He's not the target of the prophecy. Also, prophecy is intentionally vague. Nostradamus' things apply to 100 different things because it's vague.
No. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter who he is. If he doesn't have blue eyes, it's obviously then not talking about him. Unless, I didn't consider this, is monster form him have blue eyes? I didn't, check.
That's like 4 eyes, I think.
No, I said does he have blue eyes? He has, when she touches him with her, yellow goop hand, he gets a mask on him, and when he gets a mask on him, I want to say it's yellow eyes, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So, when more than 20 government inquiry ships are spotted trailing the ship that the courier launches from, I think I misidentified the person speaking in the original episode's reaction. It's the ship being followed that says, under Article 13 of Postal Law, if you break any laws, we are permitted to use force. Which makes more sense that they are the ones quoting Postal Code, considering that they are a courier ship.
Don't mess with the Postal Service.
Well, I think it might be an element of military mixed with postal ship. That might be let's say military cutter. That's not what I meant to say at all. That they might be sort of a mixed military postal service. They were in the northeastern Udai Sea, northwest 2040, when they encountered the fleet of government inquiry ships, which is apparently 600 lengths from the free zone airspace, which is evidently where our main character is, the free zone, also labeled as the southern continent's free zone. Possibly Sentan Island, given that was a location with a mid-sized dock noted by the navigator as on their path, which, by the way, it is. So, the element of writing these out without having the ability to go back in time. Back in time, not back in time.
Isn't it the same thing?
No. If I went back in time, I would be back to the future. I'd go into the past. If I didn't make it back in time, it means I didn't get here in time.
Okay.
Back in time, not back in time. There's no way. I guess I could have said back, comma, in time. Not back in time.
Yeah.
Northeastern Udai Sea, southeast 1070. Just have that for the notes because I don't know if these are a coordinate system or not. Future note, the radio says that free zone fighters are now crossing the 29th line. Previously, we had heard that there was no unauthorized vehicles allowed past the 23rd line of Sector 6. I would then assume that it is the confirmation that this is the free zone, and that the aerial buildup suggests that the military knows what is coming, and is isolating civilian traffic from the upcoming battle. If that is true, then that implies a warning period from between 8:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. Another future note, Sentan Island isn't a free zone colony, it's a vassal state. Military guy says that.
Yeah. Which explains why the heavily armed people were, it felt like they were not part of the population themselves. They stuck out. And not just because they're military and civilian areas, but it's kind of their behavior and everything else.
Well, I mean, they also claim, future note, I have this and I don't remember where it is, that this is also neutral territory.
Good enough.
So the northern government is at war with the free zone, as our narrator lady clearly anticipated the northern government camouflage ships would be on a bombing run.
Stealth technology? Or just simply painted in a weird way?
It was clearly not. We saw them.
On radar, yeah.
No, we saw them visually. Literally, we see the main character, not the main character ship, we see I don't know. It really feels like two different shows are coming to my head, and I can't remember either of them. Like an Escaflowne situation with whatever that main ship is called there. Well, one of the two ships. I'm thinking of Adlin's cruise ship from the beginning, and then Drayden's afterwards, after that ship gets destroyed. But also, God, what is... I was trying to think of this while I was writing the notes, because it also came to me then. But I keep thinking of, like, Blue Gender or something like that. That's not the show I'm thinking of. The one, South Pacific, the Japanese guy, gets held for ransom and then joins the crew of, like, a bunch of mercenaries. There's the Russian mafia.
Black Lagoon?
Yeah, Black Lagoon. I knew it would start with a B.
Yeah.
For some reason I was going blue. It actually starts with a black.
Yeah.
Kind of feels like a Black Lagoon also with that thing.
It kind of reminds me, there was, I don't know if you ever saw, it was an anime where it was like World War II style aerial warfare, sort of. And these guys... No, but the fact that they work for companies, and apparently war had been put to... Is it Appleseed? No, Appleseed is, Shiro Manasuna. That's the giant city where had all the clones in it.
One other one. No, I mean, Appleseed also has a lot of aerial shit in it. There's one other one I'm trying to think. Denver watched it. I've seen the previews, trailers, clips from. Also, like, I want to say, like, almost aerial bikes. Wears a helmet. I think it's a woman who's the main character.
I don't want to spoil it because it's a very interesting concept.
Well, I mean, all you have to do is, like, have the name. I can't get there.
Yeah. I forgot. It has a beagle on it. I know that's for sure. Doesn't matter. It's these private companies are the ones. Okay, I think I know what it is. Sky crawlers. I think it is that. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah. You seen that one?
I mean, the name you're saying doesn't ring a bell.
The Sky Crawlers.
Yeah, no, I never heard of the Sky Crawlers.
Yeah, I saw that one. It's pretty interesting. You like freaky, retro aerial combat with strong sci-fi elements underneath and a big mystery. The battles are CGI, but still pretty interesting. And the technology is very similar to this show, and it's like diesel punk, like it's World War II technology, but like the most advanced stuff that would have been in World War II, right? Flying wings and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. I found that interesting when I watched it back in the day, and heartbreaking once you realize what's going on. It just reminds me of this show so far. Was a little bit of that as well,
except for giant monsters.
Just except for the giant monsters, yeah.
Oh God, that was actually reminding me of something else too. I can't remember what that was. I guess maybe Blue Gender, but maybe not really. I feel like maybe something we watched.
Gender, yeah. I think I won.
Oh, I watched Blue Gender when it came out. So
yeah,
if I'm thinking of the right one, there's too many blue anime that I get wrong, like Blue Submarine number 6.
Yeah, no, Blue Gender is when they're the last.
The kid wakes up on Earth from like a little chamber, and he finds like ruins of humanity. And then he runs into a bunch of people wearing like giant skull masks, and it turns out that they're from the space station trying to collect shit on Earth. It's part mecha, part not.
Yeah.
The opening also features the main character girl naked for some reason. Oh, the ending does. Sorry, the ending. Oh, probably both of them do. All right, back to the notes. No, go ahead. Name your last one.
No, I also saw Blue Submarine number 6 as well.
I thought you said I've also seen. I guess I didn't hear the word it.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to name another anime.
No. I mean, there's a lot of them, but blue in the name, right? Translated from Japanese.
Before our main character decides not to take his dad his food, he grins at it first. So he chooses not to visit him, but is also happy not to do so.
I get the feeling that the parents are either separated or divorced, and
they are separated. They say that.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't want to deal with this.
Well, I mean, he's chosen to live with his mother, so.
Yeah. Also, seems the dad is pretty lazy too, so.
Well, I mean, he's still helping his dad. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So it's not like opposed to his dad. He just, again, for me, it was the element that he looks down at it, he goes, and then runs off. He chooses. He chooses. I'm going to stop there. There's no person going. No person. There's no person. I'm going to stop there. Brain. I guess the initial meat of the main character is a show of how run down. Sorry. Me understanding what I wrote. Me understand good. Me smart. I guess the initial meet of the main character is a show of how run down things are in his life. His parents live in separate buildings. The pipes in his home are rusting up. His bike chain won't stay on. He generally, it's just not good despite his upbeat attitude. On top of the always on patrol military acting like it's the middle of the Blitz. Because it is, I guess.
Yeah. The war is beginning.
No, actually, the war's been on for a long time.
I know, but for us, anyways, the viewer, it seems to be beginning now.
No, I mean, well, what I mean to imply is that if you listen to everything that they say, because it's further on in my notes about this, but the war is so bad that they've changed the Constitution because of it. Let's see. So either the main character and his mom are too lazy to keep up with the calendar, or there is an inconsistency inside of the first 7 minutes. In the kitchen, there's a calendar that states that the first day of the month starts on a Monday. In the bathroom, there's a calendar on the door that says that the first of the month starts on a Tuesday.
That's weird.
Well, I mean, that means that there's 2 different months. I assume. Again, I didn't see what the month stated. So, like I said, either they're too lazy, and those are 2 different months, and somebody just didn't change the month on one of the calendars, or it's an inconsistency, and they didn't put it in the right spots. It kind of looks like Akiyuki's dad is performing the same experiments that Nakayami was doing earlier in the episode. Nakayami has all these tubes that she's doing the seeds with and everything, and in the background of Akiyuki's dad's office, doctor's office, whatever, he's got all these fish aquarium things that has the same colored liquid in it, and also like tubing going down into it. It's not the same setup, but it looks like, if I was going to show 2 characters and one of them is an expert in a thing, and then I show their equipment, and I show a guy who's like experimenting with this and is figuring it out, and I show his homemade stuff. That's what I feel like is being translated to us in the background. 3 things about Dad. He's a mess. Mom says at least he's doing his own laundry, but it seems like Akiyuki is implying that he's been doing Dad's laundry. Second, if his calendar is right, whatever month it is, it's the 17th. Third, maybe he's a former soldier. His response to being woken up that way was make a run for it, which can read as a fun comedy thing, or as PTSD from a world racked with wars. The radio even suggests that the Constitution has been changed due to the immense casualties from the war.
So maybe a world war, or just 2 nations going at it?
We don't know the scope. Like, literally, we have the northern government and the southern continent. Like, North and South America, Africa and
Europe.
Yeah, Europe, Asia and Australia. I don't know. Given that it's a Japanese anime, Japan and the world. Akiboshi's disciplinary committee is coming by, and Akiyuki is worried his father will hang him out to dry too. I'm not exactly sure what is at play, but the feel I got in the moment is a McCarthy-era witch hunt, given how suspicious this government appears to be of its own citizenry.
That bodes well.
Well, I mean, they're checking people's armbands to get on the bus. Also, it seems like there's more to the armbands than we're seeing, because the dude's like, I need to identify you. Let me see your armband. It's like, see it, same color and everything as everybody else's armband. So apparently there must be identifying stuff there, which would seem to bode like outside of the perspective of the technology. Like, it's not like a scan, so maybe there's something written on the armband, just, out of sight of us, the viewer. The bus guard guy says 38 accounted for. Did he just not count Akiyuki in the confusion? Or was someone missing today that the bonus person getting on the bus evened everything out? Or was accounted for just a statement of how many and not how many there should be?
Probably a statement of how many they are. rather than they should be.
In the English, it sounds like accounted for. Like if you watched Home Alone, and they're doing a head count of all the kids, and they miscount because the one kid sitting in there looking through all their shit, and they count him in the spot Kevin should be in. That's the feel that I got. Okay, all accounted for. Because I don't think accounted for is the wording that I would use if I was counting how many people are on a bus. Okay, we got 38. Different connotation. It's like back in time or back in time.
Yeah.
Interestingly, inquiry ships were already present on the island at the Defense HQ before the bombing started. This is a wrong statement because it's written in time frame of me realizing things. At the same time, we see the military noting that the unidentified crafts were approaching the 29th line from the southeastern Udai Sea, craft we know to be Northern Government inquiry ships from previously in the episode. I suppose the camouflage element brought up earlier is what keeps them unknown from a distance. The commander at the base says to send inquiry ships to investigate, which I guess means that an inquiry ship is just a type of ship and not a particular ship to either country, making my suggestion that Akiyuki's notice of inquiry ships at the Defense HQ null and void as to what I thought it meant. Despite our courier ship identifying the Northern Government ships as inquiry ships and camouflage types, the Free Zone Defense HQ calls them new models from the Northern Government.
I mean, okay. You can have a class, like say inquiry ships could be like fighters, right? But these could be new types of fighters or new types of bombers or new types of whatever it is, right? So they're all inquiry ships, but for within the concept of inquiry ships, there might be a new model that be introduced, like the camouflage version, right?
I don't want to think about I don't want to think about being the target of a purge. Well, purges are a thing we got to look out for. Unless one is happening, in which case we don't got to watch out for one. We got to watch one.
But who are they purging and
them?
What's the
vessel state?
For what reason? What reason they have to purge?
To remove from.
Yeah, I know, but okay.
Assumedly, this is territory in the middle of a war area, and if you purge the people from it, there no longer is a vassal state. There is uninhabited territory. People that don't exist don't have rights.
There's a lot of things that are... Yeah, again, but who, what, where, why?
Northern Government to the Southern Government. Sorry, Northern Government to the Southern Continent. It's not identified as the Southern Government, although conceivably the Southern Continent, its government, would be a Southern Government.
Yeah, because otherwise it wouldn't be at war unless they're at war with itself, which is a civil war, which has nothing civil about it.
I mean, anyway. Again, though, technically this is the Free Zone, which I assume would be its own government, but it seems to be a vassal state of the Southern Continent. So, in which case, also neutral territory, as we mentioned before, in which case they are purging a neutral government, which itself is a vassal of the Southern Continent, of which they are currently at war, which is not technically neutral, if you think about it. Being a vassal means you are aligned to that
polity.
Say again?
The word is polity.
Well, no, it's not the word I was looking for. I just couldn't remember the descriptor of your...
Nation?
Of the... no. I mean, there are words that fit. They're not the words I was looking for.
Vassalage?
Your benefactor? If you're a vassal...
No, you're
if you're
overlord.
A vassal, you're...
Your overlord.
Well, I mean, that denotes a very specific... That denotes a very specific... I think here's the problem is now my mind's going to all the Stellaris terms for government types that I've ever thought about. The element of your overlord denotes a very specific government type that your vassal... the word that I'm trying to figure out is the one I need here. The person that's vassalized you, overlord denotes what their government type would be in a relationship towards what they are to you, versus it's not a very general term. It is a very specific term of a very specific type of relationship.
It's a lordship, yeah.
That's why I was saying benefactor, because a benefactor could also fit.
Vassalage is usually not between nations, but between people because it's a personal. Like you have
Sorry,
a
no, my
king.
brain went off of what is a nation but people.
No. It's okay.
You're talking like in a feudal state. You can't vassal. You can't have a country that's a vassal to you.
Yeah, but usually the word it would be some other term like a colony or a possession or a protectorate or other terms.
Oh no, I think
Vassalage.
protectorate is the other direction of literally the conversation we were just having about overlord. It is just another word that is a very specific type of a vassal state.
No, okay, because vassal state.
Because a protectorate is very different from, say, a country that we have a defensive treaty with. A country we have a defensive treaty with is not a protectorate, although we have pledged to protect them. It is a different thing. A protectorate is a different version of a vassal state.
Vassal usually refers to individual statements. For example, okay, the King of England holds the nation of England as his own personal property. The nation is not distinct or recognized outside of the monarch itself. So if the monarch, say, wants to bring Scotland as a nation under his rule, he could ask the lords of Scotland or the king of Scotland to pay personal vassalage to himself. So the vassal lordship relationship is a personal one and not a national. It predates modern, nation states.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's just what it means. It's a term applied to a person that's being applied to a country. That's all. Anyway, or lost memory, Xam'd. It's essentially a title drop, but also the first indication of what's going on with this faction, assuming it's the northern government. It might not be.
One would hope they will clarify the point soon enough.
It's literally the first episode where they were just like throwing everything out there. Like, as I indicated with the board, we don't even have everyone's names yet. So, Sentan Island is also a neutral zone. I put that there by itself. My last note. In Japanese, the guard says, "Who are you?" and then fires on Akiyuki. More confusingly, or I guess even more cop-like behavior, in English, he says, "Hold still," and "Get back," in the same breath before shooting him.
Yeah.
In a comedy, somebody would say, "Freeze! Put your hands up!" And then the person would say, "Oh, I can't put my hands up," and freeze at the same time. But it'd be like if he then shot that person before they could even make the comedy quip.
Yeah.
Hold still, get back! Bah!
Not that funny anymore.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The difference between the Japanese and the English. Who are you? Not even a chance to answer the question, mind you, so not even good there. But hold still, get back! Like, same breath.
Yeah.
All right, well, that is all of my notes. Maybe we'll see my character this episode, maybe not. As you remember from the overlay, we've got you beneath you, or who the AI thought best represented you, which is our main guy, now turned monster man, and my guy who's holding the camera, and apparently not really good at shaving, I guess. So, hope to be seen. Otherwise, I guess let's hop on in and see what we get from Xam'd Lost Memories.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
There's also the element here that they have their own language in the show.
That looks like Greek, though.
I don't know that it looks Greek to me. Ironic, given that if you don't recognize a language, it's all Greek to me. This doesn't look Greek to me.
Yeah, some of those letterings look Greek.
I don't think so.
Of course, it's Japanese as well, but yeah.
I'm also coming off of the back of, I think this up a lot, Madoka Magica, where the witch language is its own language. So I have no chance of figuring out what's written there. or I think I brought this up, Crest of the Stars, where the alien language is its own language. But oddly, you can translate it. Unfortunately, it's also its own language if you translate it. So you then also have to figure out that language too. Which apparently you can in the novels. Yeah, you said that before, but for me, it's pretty good. Maybe like above average, but not great. Like, it's different.
I like the fact that the husband and wife are standing there against a wall. He's like, "Hey, you want some fruit?" It's like, no.
Well, I mean, there's like...
Also, it's always all
No,
language,
yeah, it's
too.
the opening. So it's the opening that made me think of Black Lagoon. That it seems like he's with the courier group, and he like has to get picked up from this island at some point, right? Which means he's a fish out of water. Ironic, given his monster form. See, it looks like she vomited.
Yeah.
But she's also holding that. And that's where I got her name for the board. By the way, I have an STD. Nope, no eyes. I was wrong about the yellow. I said I thought he had yellow eyes when the mask comes on.
Yeah. That looks and feels like it would be a very stinky transformation too, with a lot of blowing gas or something.
I mean, it looks to me like anytime in Bleach.
Yeah.
Don't worry, he's a real jackass. Who are you? I'm sorry, did you not want an answer?
Yeah. Guess not.
And they've got a psychic connection, of course, because she also got hit by it.
Oh, these are, yeah, they're kind of thruster engines and not, I don't know why is it that they're, I guess because some other things look more primitive, I guess. It's an odd combination.
I'd also argue that this island has really weak anti-aircraft defenses.
Yeah.
Like, they just hover there and drop a thing. Any AA gun should be able to shoot these things down. Can I tell you who I am yet?
Damn. She can fight.
Yeah, what about the other guard? Oh, yeah, no. We know she can fight. Remember, she was doing the martial arts thing at the beginning. It's the other guy that can't fight because he lost to her. I don't know if that means can't fight or...
Ew.
Birthing pods.
Yeah, I don't think.
Well, remember, they regenerate. We literally just saw the other guy regenerate.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming this is like a 1-for-1. Oh. It's got the condom pods. Okay, also explaining the weirdness of the bus explosion.
Yeah.
Dead kids in the school. Fuck that. You're target like #1 while you're shooting the gun. I'm getting away from you.
Like a black hole effect, I guess.
So this is matches a equivalency of force discussion I had during Apocalypse Hotel, where they decided to build Rod from God system in space to defend the hotel. It's like, what if the guys on ground start attacking the front of your hotel? Are you going to nuke yourselves in the face? Really? That doesn't feel like anything that guy would say to our first episode. You know what this actually feels like to me now? Guyver.
Yeah.
Not Mickey Guyver, the Guyver.
I know, Guyver. It says,
I know it from its live action movie, not its anime.
either that's very shallow water or...
I think it's shallow.
It's
You
very
can see his
shallow
feet
water,
going
yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
I guess it must have deflected around him.
Yeah. Oh, now we got the heroic music.
Also, was that something he did, or did the AA finally kick in?
No, I think it's one of the others that attacked the things in the sky.
Great, now my gas isn't gonna get stowed for a week. That's what my gas isn't gonna get stowed for a week. You figure it out. It's not healing from that
He didn't-
impact.
Yeah, that's what I noticed.
Also, it's got the ring around it. So maybe our courier girl is actually growing these things. I'm not saying these things are from her, but it seems like that ring it has around it is the same thing that she had in her. Does the terrorists have to wipe the yellow shit on you for you to be able to transform? Now, is that one of them is called Xam'd, or that one specifically is called Xam'd?
I think that's the one that's called Xam'd. Don't take her with you, dude.
Is it Xam'd lost memories because Akiyuki loses his memories when he becomes Xam'd?
Or he is someone else. No, it seems that he's supposed to recover his memories.
Well, that's our lost memories. Xam'd is what that person said. From my
No,
note.
but remember what the girl said. This is going to help you recover your memories. So is it a genetic memory of mankind or something else?
No, that feels too fucking weird.
Could be. I mean, this is pretty weird. On
It's
its
not
own.
that weird. It's no weirder than Guyver. I'd say it's dead, but I can't tell.
Oh, it's a class of complex.
Okay, so animals can become this. Probably what that other thing is. Not usually how you phrase that.
So that's how you kill it, with these stones, I guess?
Well, I mean, the Xam'd was beating the other one to death, and the stones were getting created from that too. So I think it's just a element of damage. Okay, so this is our mystical character.
Yeah.
As opposed to the condom-eating cult, which also seems like mystical characters. I mean, sure.
Oh, she's strong.
I mean, she just picked up a guy. That's all she did.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave you nearly face down in the water. Hope you don't turn over.
Eh.
I mean, it explains how he becomes a member of the crew or gets on the ship or whatever. I guess we're supposed to be able to figure out what 6, 7, and 9 are from that.
Yeah.
I feel like we're playing Final Fantasy X right now, trying to figure out the Al-Bhed language. Dude, what happened to your head? Another planet the Coneheads have invaded. I don't think you know what a pig is. We can't have this animal thing. He can't have.
Yeah.
She can't have that person.
Yeah.
I do really like the animation of the show, though.
Yeah.
Well, like when it focuses up on the faces, sometimes I feel like it's almost Ghibli-esque.
Mm-hmm. Technology it's all over the place. Visually speaking.
I mean, not to a degree that I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
True.
Like when I'm watching Escaflowne and I feel like, oh, is that a wormhole generator? And we're like all hydraulic, like mechs and everything. You know, also the fact that we seem to have biotechnology here.
Yeah.
So, water from a tea kettle is like his spinach.
Yeah, so.
I've seen a bunch of those in ASMR videos. Ow.
What is she doing to him?
Again, the thing that I said, that she's making these with those ring things and pods, so she knows the genetics, biotech, whatever you want to call it.
起こさないでやってくれ。
生きてんのか、その先端島のガキ。
あ、ここまで持てば石にはならない。
You know, as they do.
なんかあったら
気を使うな。私も少し休む。
了解。
Yeah, kids got their wish.
なんだおい。静かにしろ。この豚さっきの。
Again, what do pigs look like in this world?
豚じゃないよ、ロッパって名前にしたんだ。コバコがつけたの。僕もつけた。本当は猫またぎ類豚かって言うんだけど。
お前らまで変なもん拾って。
Necomatus.
I mean, it looks like a
So
rabbit
cats-
to me.
Yeah, rabbit.
子供はいいの。お祈りの時間だろ。
ねえ、あいつライギョより優しい？
まあ、だったらいいよな。お前さんのおしめも取り替えてくれるしな。あ、ほら、この小豚ちゃんと一緒に突っ込んでなさい。
小豚じゃないや。
Oh.
ちゃんとロッパって呼んであげて。
Okay, these kids don't fuck around.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they're getting in over their heads. Who is this guy? It doesn't look like he's anything related to them, in which case, who's to say he's just gonna whip it on them?
それでも生きたいと思うんだ。
Are they supposed to not be intelligent, I guess? Or are they-
Self-destructed. So they have a limited lifespan.
Okay, again, they were using very like World War II style submachine guns, and now they have 1980 style assault rifle, Japanese rifle, no, French assault
It could
rifles.
just be an
It's-
area, by the way. You're fucking me over,
Yeah.
Lessons. So, what I meant was they're doing the subtitles on the top of the fucking screen, which means
Yeah.
that while you're talking, I have to have the bottom thing up, which has no subtitles because they fucking put it on the top. Thank you for this flashlight, but I don't have the equipment to use it.
I don't think it's supposed to be a.
Thank you for this portable pocket.
ありがとう。
I don't. What are you giving me here?
私守れなかった。
Chocolate rolls, I think.
Thank you for this empty popsicle cone. Popsicle cone? What the fuck am
Huh.
I saying now?
It's full of
Ice
chocolate.
cream cone.
違うよ。秋雪は死んでない。守れなかったのはおばさんとの約束。
Yep, to keep an eye on him. And the doctor's office, aka my husband.
すいません。龍蔵先生、一息ついて。朝から
Hey, the old woman with back problems.
Oh, they all moved in with him.
ナイスキャッチ。お酒
You know, from the opening.
Yeah, I know. The one lady that.
No, I meant the fruit.
Yeah.
The thing you literally mentioned in the opening.
先生には感謝してんの。あんたいい男だよ。
Is he a good man?
Yeah, maybe. We literally have no
Maybe.
evidence
I
that
don't-
he isn't. I mean, just because their marriage didn't work out didn't mean he's not a good guy.
靴がいっぱい。珍しく大繁盛ね。
Yeah, I wonder why. It'd be that
水もらえ
nearly 3,000 people died. My water isn't rusty.
秋雪が帰ってこないの。学校も避難所も探した。電話通じないわよ。朝からずっと。今頃気づくか。普通。
Don't fucking blame me because I didn't know the phones were working.
今行く。お願いします。
自分の息子はどうでもいいの。
I mean, he's a doctor. He has work to do.
電話一本しようと思わなかったの。
Thousands of people
そんな
died.
こと言えるわね。あの子、今だって待ってるかもしれないのよ。
Look, I'm being flippant here, but obviously I understand both sides of this. Oh, no. The entire city, island. That must mean something. This must be the Macross Delta something in the water shit. Well, what the hell does that mean? Okay, you think the thing that he ate was something with rust?
I don't know.
Like they're turning the entire island into living bombs? It's a crazy little symbol you got on here. Cape? Yeah, cape. He looks familiar.
Yeah.
My Hero Academia. Destro. He's Destro from My Hero Academia.
Okay.
It's a bioweapon. Never mind. It's always stupid to me when people in anime name a clearly living creature a god.
The clown makeup is, yeah.
No, it just means they're part of a certain culture. Because remember the courier girl, name I can't remember off the top of my head, also has that kind of makeup. I think it's kind of like when you look at the Maori people or something like that, the like typical like tattoos and shit. You sure? You could just call you one. We do that to things.
Yeah. So they're gonna turn him into one of those things?
Does it? I literally can't make heads or tails of this thing. Other than the fact it's got the rock stuff on it from when you're about to die.
Yeah.
And you're a human form weapon. That's what it says at the end of every episode so far.
Yeah.
I've got evidence of 2 episodes, and both of them have had that. So, yeah. Nearly 3,000 people dead.
Yeah, and I'm still as confused of what the hell's really going on. There's a war. These are the weapons of that war.
Well, they're the weapons of one side of the war, anyway.
Yeah.
But it also seems to be the weapons of a culture. Like, using the religious symbology of a culture as a weapon.
Yeah.
Like, Xam'd is technically, I guess, the Avatar.
Oh, this is the Gynex production. Of course it's confusing.
Well, it's not that confusing. Like, you're confused. I don't remember exactly what you're confused about. Most of it I understand. It's the efforts of the human form weapon creators. That is the mystery to me, but only so much so that it feels like we have one cult of people that are using it. And then her, which seems to also indicate that she's like from a culture that is familiar with it, as per Doctor downstairs. I don't know what to call him.
Yeah.
Dr. Destro. Which is funny to say because it makes me think of now G.I. Joe.
Yeah. Kind of also reminds me of Macross Zero as well.
Yeah. Well, it's more so his... hold on. Again, for me, it's more the element of the fact he looks like Destro from My Hero Academia, and not for nothing, final seasons of My Hero Academia, Destro is bound to a wheelchair, so he looks even more like that. He probably looks like a bunch of different massive beak-like nosed characters in anime.
Yeah.
Also, not for nothing, this is requested again, as I mentioned, by Yuki Ali, who previously requested Ras Aphon, which is up there with like Evangelion with hidden meaning shit. So you really gotta look deep. I will say, now that I've experienced Madoka Magica, not as deep as some shows could be. Ras Aphon has like a lot of hidden meaning, but it's like religious symbology and a lot of interconnected material about that symbology, and then you'd have to like do a bunch of research. Whereas Madoka Magica is like, again, words you can't read, background imagery. Like maybe I'm overstepping here. I did say Madoka Magica is difficult, but then again, I've essentially gotten Madoka Magica 100% right before the reveals, so maybe it's not that difficult. Anything that I can understand can't be that difficult.
They do describe him, the Akiyuki, as being ungrateful, but it's like he probably doesn't know what the hell's going on.
Again, it's a Black Lagoon situation. They don't like that guy for a long time until he proves that he's actually good at this. I'm used to being abandoned, and my boss is trying to leverage my life for money, and but I'm also a really good businessman, and what you lack here is a good business sense and how to negotiate with people.
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming Akiyuki is going to add something. Maybe not in the first episode that he's with the courier group, because, the captain is a bitch. But, I don't know, that's actually the Black Lagoon thing, too. I mean, not the captain. What's his name? Isn't a bitch. I can't remember her name. No, Rook is the actual captain, but what's her name?
Yeah, I know. Two something, two guns or two fists. She uses
Remy.
two weapons.
Remy is a bitch.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it, although there's something I'm not grasping about what's going on here.
It is an international war that's been going on for a very long time. That also features biological weapons.
And why they're fighting and why are these the weapons that they're
I don't think it matters.
I
mean, right now, I don't think it matters. Right now, we're supposed to be getting introduced to the characters. This is how I keep talking about Visions of Escaflowne, how Visions of Escaflowne starts, or actually has the same story arc of like a Final Fantasy game, which is start on the character level, have ourselves threatened by the greater world story, and then be introduced slowly to that world story until we are then on the world story level. Our main character then fighting like the Emperor or, whatever. Right now, we are on the character level, which is parents fighting about their son possibly being dead, Akiyuki going from, I'm going to help a girl on the bus, to part of a terrorist attack that essentially kills a ton of people on the island. And now we're moving on to now he's going to be able to learn about the world from a new position of a courier transport that's going to be able to see more of the world, allowing us to understand the world story. And I'm assuming by the end, we're going to be fighting the actual Xam'd god guy and learning about the religious aspects of that and what the plan is with the Doctor. Final Fantasy storytelling.
It also smacks me of Eureka 7 as well, which I never fell to the end.
Sorry, you said Eureka 7, and it took me a bit to remember the space skyboarding thing. I immediately jumped to the Sci-Fi Channel show Eureka. I'm like, I don't remember there being any greater story to Eureka.
I never saw to the end. I should finish that one thing.
I didn't see it to the end either, but, after like 5 seasons, and it's literally just sci-fi adventure of the week, like, the Stargate show, when it wasn't doing its big old plotline stuff. It's just, just a fun little romp. I liked the show, but, it didn't really go anywhere other than the will they, won't they of the director. At the time, director, she does get replaced, and then Cop guy who I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens next, but I'm intrigued.
I would say the best part
In
of
a
this
good way- in a
episode to
good
me
way.
was the mother coming by the doctor's place.
Yeah.
Because it's good back and forth. It's like, what's your responsibility here to my family or to the people? Arguably, I would say she probably has the better point because he is not a back alley doctor. He is a small town doctor in a city, essentially.
Yeah.
He is helping two people, essentially.
No, he also took in the old ladies as well. And
Yeah, but he's not helping them. They are there with the other old lady, and arguably, he's not even helping the old lady because of the accident. She was there in the first episode before all of this. Her back just hurts. You know?
Yeah.
She go visit a chiropractor. That's not I'm not here for this. And technically, it seems like the other kid, not here because of the attack, he just has a fever. Which means that he's not helping anybody as a result of the attack. He is helping people as a result of being a doctor and a normal day. Literally, if there was a doctor in Andy Griffith, I can't remember, that's this guy. So I would argue that neither of those things that he's dealing with is so pressing that requires him to be there. At the same time, does he have any ability to find his kid if he was under a pile of rubble?
Oh.
Questionable. Also, not important because we know he's not there. He's on a ship that left. Not that he would know that, but the argument between these two. Ultimately, I guess after the episode's already over, I would have to side with the mom on this one. What's your priorities? This is why I left you. You put your job before your family.
Now I remember something we said in the early episode about another show with the name Blue on it, and I just finished 25 episodes of Blue Box. So
never watched that.
Just a slice of life, sports anime kind of situation. So.
Oh wait, is that the soccer one?
No, it's.
I felt like I could have been right there because it seems like there's been 10 soccer anime in the last years.
Blue Check, I think, is the one you're talking about. Soccer.
I don't think it's that.
Yeah,
I think there's one with blue in the name, but it's not.
Yeah, it's Blue Check, I think. I know what you're talking about. Blue Box is he plays badminton, she plays basketball.
That sounds familiar. I don't think
it just finished.
Blue Lock. No, Blue Lock is the one I was talking about.
Blue Lock is you're talking about Blue Lock, yeah.
Yeah, well, I never heard of Blue Check. It's like
Blue Box.
No. You said Blue Check was the one I was thinking of when you were talking about soccer anime. No. I never heard of that. It was
Blue Lock, yeah.
Blue Lock, I know, has been getting like amazing reviews, or not, maybe rave reviews, not amazing reviews. Not really sure what the difference of that.
It's a 2-core. I just finished the 2-core of 25 episodes. And next season should be next year with probably 2-core more. So.
I heard next season of Mashoko Tensei is going to be next year. Looking forward to that.
Looking to a lot of shows this summer as well. A couple.
Ironically, the only anime with box in the name that comes to my head is Madoka Box, which was also pretty good.
So,
I mean, it's pretty good in the low tier, like high school anime. What everybody has, not everybody, most people have not superpowers, but like powers of some sort. Like the morals committee guy has bouncy balls.
Yeah,
really hard bouncy balls. And his whole thing is like like that. He wears a long jacket with open arms. And they all spill out, just fucking kill people, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's like way over the top. Like I think the president of not the student council, like the president of the school, principal of the school, is engineering like something in the basement. But Madoka, I think it's Madoka Box, Madoka. And it's supposed to be like a suggestion box that you put suggestions into, and she's supposed to help you with it. Because she's like, literally, what do you call it? Something Sue? Sally Sue? No. Mary Sue. She's literally a Mary Sue. Like, she is overpowered, defeats everybody, etc., etc. Also, giant boobs. And, of course, every fight, your clothes get ripped to shreds. It's that kind of show. That's why I call it, like, low tier. I love the characters. I love the over-the-top interconnections between them, but it is very much it's kind of down here, but it is like the best of down here.
I mean, and something that takes me a while. We were talking earlier about the Sky Scrollers or the Sky Scrollers. It's an OVA format, but I was like, oh, this is interesting, but I don't know what's really going on. And then when I realized what was going on, which took me about 4 episodes of like, man, this is fucked up. But it makes sense.
The best of shows do that.
But it's good. It's good. It's sad. It's horrible. Yeah, it's.
I mean, the best of shows have a good
you're
little
probably
twist
gonna figure. You're the kind of person who probably figure it out in like the first 5 minutes, but
it depends.
Yeah,
I figure shit out when I have like a week between episodes. If I'm watching the episodes, because I'll focus on one thing and then lose everything else. Did you ever seen School Live?
No.
Won't say anything else then. Madoka Magica.
School Live.
School Live. School-live. Exclamation mark.
Yeah.
It's really good, and you can't talk about it. It's really good, though. For me. Madoka Magica, of course. You got the twist in episode 3, and then you've got the twist after episode, like, 7, and then the twist in episode 10. It's like multiple twists. Well, I mean, none of them are really twists, because I guessed them from, like, I analyzed the opening lyrics, and I was like, this is what I think is going on because of the opening lyrics. And I was right. So, it's not like the opening lyrics even spell anything out. It's just like what you would think from a magical girl anime. And then it's like, I think this is happening. And I think this is the character that's happening with. And I think the whole opening is a lie. And I think this other thing is not actually happening here. It's actually something else. And then by episode 7 and then episode 10, I am 100% right. And it's like, I'm good. I love it when I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm trying not to spoil anything. I don't know if I've ever said it out loud, so I'm trying not to spoil anything in case you ever pick it up. I think it is essential anime.
That's not the Resurrection one, is it?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no because I don't know what you're talking about.
The 40-some dude that's shut in, who got stripped naked in high school and tied to a...
Mushoku Tensei. That's Mushoku Tensei.
Mushoku Tensei.
I would also say is essential anime. I guess there could be a caveat to that, but I wouldn't put one. Like, my essential anime at the moment is, like, again, Madoka Magica, Mushoku Tensei, Made in Abyss, Apothecary Diaries. Now, I'm really loving that one. Because Apothecary Diaries was really, you gotta pay attention. Well, I don't know, I guess you don't have to. I guess it's a double safety kind of show. You really pay attention and figure it out as you go. Because even the episodes that feel like they don't mean anything mean something down the road. Like the whole episode called Lead, about metallurgy, right? And then these 3 brothers that are trying to figure out their father's will, and they don't think their father actually loved them or anything. And it features like a little puzzle about a metal that heats up at room temperature to weaken itself to allow you to open the lock on a thing, which then shows them the recipe for their father's metallurgical secrets, essentially, that nobody else knew. And it's like, this episode doesn't feel like it attaches to anything. Like, even at the beginning or the end, there was no, like, Mao thing where she goes and talks to other people. It was all about these lead people. And it turns out to be, like, one of the most important episodes leading up to everything, because you're being taught something that you're going to need later. And it's like a bunch of that happens in Apothecary Diaries, where some passing thing that either just feels like an episode joke, or we're doing a thing for a different plot.
Anyway.
So I have been Theta. This has been Lessons. We have been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below, and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?